You are kneeling in the mud. Your sword is still in your hand, but your lord is dead. You watched it happen. An arrow, a single arrow, and the man you swore your life to is gone. The battle is already lost. The banners of your clan are burning, and you are still alive. That is the problem. You are still alive. In your world, a samurai without a master is not a man. He is a ghost who forgot to die. They have a word for what you have become. Ronin, a wave man, drifting, masterless, worthless. Your story does not end on this battlefield. It would have been kinder if it did. Rewind. You were not born a ghost. You were born a son of a samurai family in a province ruled by a daimyo, a warlord. Your father served him with a blade. His father served before that. Loyalty was not a choice in your family. It was the air you breathed. From the moment you could walk, you were given a wooden sword. By 7, you could name every part of a blade. By 10, you bled for the first time in training and were told not to cry. You didn't. You learned the code before you learned to love. Bushido, the way of the warrior, loyalty above your own life, honor above your own body. Your Lord's name worth more than your breath. You were taught a single, simple idea, repeated until it lived in your bones. The way of the samurai is found in death. At 15, you knelt before your daimyo and swore the oath. His enemies are your enemies. His death is your death. You belong to him now. Every part of you. You meant it. That is the part history forgets. You meant every word. For years you served well. You followed your lord into battle after battle. You killed men whose names you never knew, for reasons you were never told. You did not ask why. A samurai does not ask why. A samurai obeys. Your lord trusted you. He gave you land, a small house. He even arranged your marriage to a woman from a minor family, quiet, with steady hands and a laugh she tried to hide behind her sleeve. You did not expect to love her. You did. For a few short years, you had a life that was almost your own. A fire in the evening, a voice that was not giving you orders, a reason to come home that had nothing to do with honor. You told yourself it could last. That was your first real mistake, because this is the age of war. Clans rise and clans fall in a single season. Alliances are written in the morning and broken by nightfall. And your lord chose the wrong side. A rival warlord moved against your province, 10,000 men against your 2,000. The messengers came at dawn. Your lord read the reports in silence, then gave the order to march. You went home for one night before the battle. Your wife did not weep. She knew better than to send a samurai to war with tears on his back. She tied your armor herself. She pressed her forehead to your chest. She said only one thing. Come back, you promised. That was your second mistake. A samurai should never promise what his lord can take away. The two armies met on a wide plain at the edge of a river. You remember the cold that morning, the smell of wet earth and horses, the sound of 10,000 men breathing, waiting. Then the drums, then the arrows, then the world dissolved into noise and blood. You fought beside your lord for hours. You watched the men you trained with fall one by one. You held the line long after the line had stopped meaning anything. And through the chaos, you kept your eyes on him, on your lord. That was your only job. Keep him alive. You failed. And now you are back where the story began. The mud, the arrow, the dead lord. The rule is simple, and you have known it your whole life. When your master falls, you have two honorable paths. Die, fighting beside him, here in the dirt. Or kneel, draw your short blade, and open your own stomach to follow him in death. Seppuku. You were ready to. Your hands were already moving to the blade. Death held no fear for you. You had walked toward it your whole life. But your lord was not dead yet. Not quite. He grabbed your wrist with the last of his strength, blood in his throat, and his final order was not die with me. It was live. Find my son. Tell him what happened here. Protect him. So you obeyed. One last time, you obeyed. You crawled off that battlefield alive, and in doing so, you broke the very code that made you who you are. You chose your lord's command over your own honor. You let yourself live when every law you believed in screamed at you to die, and the world will never forgive you for it. Neither will you. You go home first. You should not have. The village is ash. The rival warlord's men came through after the battle, the way they always do. The house your lord gave you is a black skeleton against the sky. You call her name into the smoke. No one answers. You find no body. In some cruel way, that is worse. A body you could bury. A body would let you mourn and move on. Instead, you are left with a question that will follow you for the rest of your life. Did she run? Was she taken? Is she somewhere out there, alive, waiting for a man who promised to come back? You will never know. The war swallowed her the way it swallows everything that is small and soft and unimportant to the men who start them. You kneel in the ashes of your own home for a long time. Then you stand, because your Lord gave you an order, and a dead man's order is still an order. You find his son after weeks of walking. The boy is 12, hidden in a mountain temple by loyal retainers. You kneel before him. You deliver his father's last words. You pledge your sword to the child. The boy looks at you, and you see it in his eyes. Not gratitude, suspicion. Why did you live when my father died? A loyal man would have died, so you say nothing. You have learned that silence is the only armor that never cracks, but there is nothing here for you. The clan is shattered. The lands are seized, so you leave. You walk back down the mountain into a country that has no place for you. You are now what you swore you would never become, a ronin, a masterless man. You walk the roads with 2 swords and an empty stomach. The swords mark you as samurai. The dust on your robes marks you as a failure. Every village you pass, mothers pull their children inside. A masterless samurai is a dangerous thing, a man trained only to kill, with no one left to tell him who. Honor does not fill a bowl. The first week, you sell your spare robes. The second week, your armor, the lacquered plates your wife once tied to your body. By the second month, you are doing work no samurai would ever admit to. You guard a merchant's cart. A merchant, a class you were raised to despise, men who touch money with their bare hands. He pays you in rice and a corner of his barn to sleep in. He calls you swordsman, never by your name, and speaks to you the way a man speaks to a guard dog. You swallow it. Hunger teaches you to swallow many things. One night by the road, you meet another ronin. He is older. His swords are gone, sold long ago. He carries a wooden club now, like a peasant. You share a fire and a little rice, and he tells you the truth no one else will. He tells you there are tens of thousands of men like you. Some become bandits, robbing the very peasants they once swore to protect. Some become sellswords, killing for whoever pays the most that season. Some sell their swords. The soul of the samurai, pawned for a few coins of bread. You ask him how he stayed honest. He laughs. It is not a kind sound. He tells you he didn't. He tells you that honor is the first thing a starving man sells, and the last thing he admits to selling. Honor is a luxury for men who have already eaten. In the morning, he is gone. You never see him again, but you carry his words like a stone in your chest because each day they grow heavier and more true. Then, one day, a chance. A powerful daimyo is recruiting. A new war is coming. There is always a new war, and he needs swords. He does not care about your past. He does not ask how your last lord died or why you lived. He offers a new master, a new oath, a roof, a salary, a name again. Everything you lost, offered back in a single afternoon. You should feel joy. Instead, you feel a strange cold in your chest, because you know what an oath costs now. You have paid it once already. You know that to kneel again is to hand another man the right to spend your life however he wishes. And you know exactly how that story ends. You have lived it. You have the ashes of a home and a wife with no grave to prove it. You look at the contract. You think of your old lord dead in the mud. You think of the boy who looked at you with suspicion. You think of your wife tying your armor, saying come back. You think of every brother who died keeping a promise while you lived breaking one. And for the first time in your life, you hesitate before bowing. You take the oath. Of course you do. A man has to eat. A man has to be someone in this world. But you are not the same samurai who knelt at 15 and meant every word. This time, you keep one small part of yourself back. One quiet room inside you that no lord will ever be allowed to enter. War comes, as war always does. And on the field, you see it. The same shape as before. Your new lord, surrounded. The battle turning. The arrows beginning to fall. You know this moment. You have lived this moment. The code screams at you, die with him, follow him into death. That is the way. But this time, you also hear another voice, your old lord, gasping in the mud. Live. And beneath that fainter, a woman's voice you are starting to forget. Come back. 2 masters, a dead wife, 1 body. And standing in the middle of someone else's war, you finally understand the thing they never taught you. The code was never really about loyalty. to a man. It was about who gets to decide when you die. History does not record what you chose in that final moment. Men like you do not get names in the chronicles. But here is what history does record. It records the daimyo, the famous warlords, the grand battles drawn beautifully on painted screens, the poems written about honor, and the falling cherry blossom and the noble death. It does not record the tens of thousands of ronin who starved in ditches, who sold their swords for bread, who died nameless on roads that led nowhere, looking for wives who were already gone. No one told you that loyalty was a leash, and the man holding the other end could let go the moment it suited him. A beautiful word, honor, handed to you like a gift when it was only ever a chain. You were never the hero of this story. You were the tool. And when the tool broke, the world simply walked on and left you where it found you, in the mud. The pain stops now, and now you are history.